Climate change impacts and risks. Climate change poses a threat to our planet. Extreme weather events, ecosystem degradation, and adverse impacts on human health are among the most pressing challenges we face today. Wildfires. Increased drought and heat waves fuel record-setting, devastating wildfire seasons around the world. In the summer of 2021, severe wildfires raged across the western United States and Canada, causing many towns to be evacuated. A severe heat wave in Europe in 2019 killed hundreds. The June heat wave occurred between June 24 and July 2. The temperature in West, South and Central Europe increased by 11 degrees Celsius 17 degrees Celsius compared to the past average temperature. The countries with the greatest impact are France, Spain, Germany, and Italy. In other countries, about 320 million people are suffering from high temperature. Among them, the French station measured 46.0 degrees Celsius on June 28. Floods. More severe and frequent floods are caused by rising sea levels, heavier rainfall, and coastal storms. The 2018 Indian floods resulted in the deaths of at least 1,200 people and affected millions. Droughts. Climate change exacerbates water scarcity, leading to prolonged and more severe droughts. Countries around the world are being impacted by drought, and here are some examples of nations currently experiencing severe drought. 1. South Africa. South Africa often faces the threat of drought, especially in its western regions. For instance, in 2017 to 2018, Cape Town experienced a severe drought and even faced a day zero scenario, where the city's water sources were on the brink of depletion. 2. India. India is a country that frequently grapples with drought challenges, particularly in its central and western regions. Drought impacts agriculture and leads to water resource shortages. 3. Australia. Australia is another country that regularly experiences drought, particularly in its inland areas. In the early 2000s, southeastern Australia went through a severe millennium drought, resulting in water resource depletion and agricultural difficulties. 4. Brazil. The northeastern region of Brazil is often plagued by drought, affecting local agriculture and water resources. Some areas of Brazil also face seasonal drought issues. 5. Iran. Iran is one of the countries in the Middle East severely affected by drought. Much of the country is characterized by arid and semi-arid climates, making water resource scarcity a significant challenge. Deforestation. Deforestation, driven by agricultural expansion and logging, damages ecosystems and contributes to global warming. The benefits of forests. 1. Ecological balance. Forests are among the most crucial ecosystems on Earth, supporting the survival and reproduction of numerous species. They provide habitats for many plants and animals, helping to maintain ecological balance. 2. Carbon sequestration and oxygen production. Forests are one of the largest terrestrial carbon reservoirs on Earth, capable of absorbing significant amounts of carbon dioxide, contributing to climate change mitigation. Simultaneously, through photosynthesis, forests release oxygen, providing the oxygen needed for respiration by organisms on Earth. 3. Protection of water resources. Forests aid in safeguarding watersheds, reducing soil erosion, minimizing soil runoff, and facilitating groundwater recharge. This helps maintain a healthy water cycle and supply. 4. Biodiversity conservation. Forests serve as habitats for a multitude of species, aiding in the protection and preservation of biodiversity. Various organisms within forests interact, forming complex food chains and ecosystems. 5. Air and soil quality improvement. Forests help improve air quality by absorbing pollutants from the air, and they also protect and enhance soil quality. 6. Erosion and flood control. Trees and vegetation in forests help stabilize soil and slow down the erosion process. Additionally, forests can absorb rainwater, reducing the risk of flooding. 7. Economic value. Forests provide numerous economic values, including timber, medicinal plants, food, natural resources, and more. Many communities rely on forest products and ecotourism for income. Coral reef bleaching. Marine heat waves triggered by climate change are causing bleaching of coral reefs, leading to loss of marine habitat and decline in biodiversity. 1. Ecological balance. Coral reefs interact with other marine ecosystems, helping to maintain the balance of the entire marine ecosystem. They play a part in the food chain, influencing nutrient cycling and ecological relationships in the ocean. 2. Ecological diversity. Coral reefs are one of the most diverse ecosystems on Earth, providing habitat and breeding grounds for tens of thousands of species, including fish, invertebrates, marine plants, and more. This biodiversity is crucial for maintaining the balance of marine ecosystems. 3. Fishery resources. Many fisheries depend on the habitats provided by coral reefs. Coral reefs offer suitable environments for a variety of economically important fish species and marine products, providing food and income for local communities. 4. Coastal protection. Coral reefs can slow down coastal erosion, reducing the impact of waves and storms on coastal areas. They serve as a natural protective barrier, safeguarding coastal communities from the ravages of storms and waves. 5. Medicine and research. The biodiversity found in coral reefs may contain many undiscovered bioactive substances with potential value in pharmaceuticals and medical research. 6. Tourism industry. Coral reefs attract a large number of tourists, offering beautiful diving and snorkeling experiences. This is an important source of income for local economies. Arctic ice melt. The loss of Arctic sea ice, due to rising temperatures, threatens the survival of polar bears and other wildlife. The benefits of Arctic ice. 1. Climate regulation. Arctic ice helps regulate the Earth's climate. It reflects solar radiation, reducing the amount of heat absorbed by the Earth, which helps maintain the global temperature balance. This reflective process is known as ice albedo feedback and contributes to mitigating climate change. 2. Marine ecosystems. The presence of Arctic ice maintains the balance of marine ecosystems. Ice provides habitats for many organisms such as seals, polar bears, and other animals. They find food and shelter on and beneath the ice. 3. Scientific research. Arctic ice is a crucial resource for scientific research. Researchers use ice sheets and ice cores to understand past changes in Earth's climate and to investigate the effects of modern climate change. Ice preserves a wealth of climate and environmental records. 4. Transportation routes. With the melting of ice sheets, certain Arctic waters may become navigable shipping routes, reducing distances for certain cargo transportation and providing new maritime pathways. 5. Resource development. Regions beneath the ice may contain abundant mineral resources and oil and natural gas deposits. As ice melts, resource development in these areas may become more feasible. Landslides. Unstable mountain slopes are responsible for deadly landslides and mudslides worldwide due to storms and the effects of climate change. The benefits of slope terrain. 1. Water resource protection. Hilly areas can serve as watershed regions where vegetation and soil on the slopes filter and store water, aiding in maintaining water resource stability and reducing the risk of flooding and soil erosion. 2. Ecological diversity. Hilly areas can vary in altitude and climate conditions, thus supporting the survival of various species. These regions are crucial for the conservation and maintenance of ecological diversity. 3. Agriculture and cultivation. Some hilly areas are suitable for agricultural cultivation, and in certain regions, the soil on slopes may be nutrient-rich, making it suitable for crop cultivation. Terracing is a farming method that utilizes hilly terrain and helps increase agricultural yields. 4. Geological resources. Some hilly areas may contain minerals, deposits, and other geological resources, impacting local economies and resource development. 5. Wind energy. The height and wind patterns in hilly areas make them ideal locations for wind energy generation. 6. Cultural and religious value. In some regions, hilly terrain may be associated with cultural, religious, and traditional significance, becoming places of worship and heritage. 7. Scenic beauty and ecotourism. The natural landscapes of hilly areas are often captivating, attracting hikers, photographers, and nature enthusiasts. These areas can become hotspots for ecotourism, generating income for local economies. The drawbacks of extreme weather. 1. Air pollution. Poor air quality can increase the incidence of respiratory and cardiovascular diseases. Example, air pollution in China has already resulted in millions of deaths. 2. Vector-borne diseases. Rising temperatures and changes in precipitation patterns are leading to the spread of mosquitoes, ticks, and other vector-borne insects, increasing the risk of diseases like malaria, dengue fever, and Lyme disease. 3. Food and waterborne diseases. Extreme weather and rising temperatures can contaminate food and water sources, leading to outbreaks of diseases such as diarrhea. 4. Mental health. Extreme weather and climate-induced displacement can lead to anxiety and depression due to the stress and trauma experienced by those affected. The disasters caused by the development of civilization. Industrial Revolution. The rise of industry in the 18th century marked the beginning of humanity's large-scale burning of fossil fuels. Greenhouse gases. Human activities such as burning coal, oil, and gas, as well as deforestation, have increased the levels of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, leading to global warming and climate change. Paris Agreement. In 2015, world leaders drafted the Paris Climate Agreement to fight climate change and mitigate its effects. The agreement aims to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius and to pursue efforts towards a 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature target. Humanity begins to awaken. 1. Mitigation. Cut emissions of greenhouse gases. 1. Protect and restore ecosystems. 2. Reduce deforestation. 2. Adaptation. Develop climate-resilient infrastructure. 1. Improve disaster risk management. 2. Plant heat-tolerant crops. 3. International cooperation. The international community must come together to develop and implement effective strategies to combat climate change and its impacts. Renewable energy. We can switch to renewable sources to reduce the use of fossil fuels, such as solar, wind, and water power. Low-emission transport. We can use less polluting transport models and invest in zero-emission public transport. Sustainable consumption. We can reduce resource use and waste by recycling, reusing, and choosing sustainable products. The economic costs of inaction. The failure to address climate change will result in significant economic losses globally, hitting the poorest regions and communities the hardest.